This is every Easter egg, cameo, and hidden detail in the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, and I'm letting you know right now, some of these are really gonna shock you. And me and you, we gotta talk about it. This is your spoiler warning. You have been warned. When Matt finally stops Dex and asks him why he did it, he just starts laughing in his face. That's Bullseye. That's comic, he's a fucking psycho. When Matt tossed Bullseye over the ledge and turned him into fucking street gum, I thought he was for sure dead. But thanks to this shot in the trailer, we know that he's gonna return some way, somehow. And this might be their way in to experiment with adamantium on him and give him his various adamantium bones. And hopefully a super comic accurate suit. And hopefully an appearance in a comic accurate version of the Thunderbolts. Especially with the way that Brave New World ended. We get reintroduced to Big Willie the only way we know how, with this fat ass eating an omelet, which is his breakfast of choice. This man thinks he's in the bear. Yes, chef! We learn that Vanessa has been running shit while Wilson Fisk has been recovering, and we learn that they're in control of the 5 families of boroughs of New York. And one of them's wearing a tracksuit, so is the Tracksuit Mafia back? This was an organization that the Kingpin controlled in the Hawkeye series. If you'll remember, Fisk was shot in the face by Echo, had an eye patch and was recovering from it in the entire Echo series, and then Echo herself made him face his past traumas, which is probably why he's trying to do something good, and is the reason why he wants to run for the mayor of New York City. We get introduced to by far my favorite edition in Born Again that wasn't in the Netflix series, the BB Report. It's basically street interviews with actual people in New York. I love that. It really gives character to New York City. And BB Urich is actually the niece of Ben Urich. That's right, that Ben Urich.
I'm here to kill you.
This might have just been me, but when that 1 year later title card hit, it gave me the same feeling I felt when I saw the 5 years later pop up in Endgame. I just really like this detail, but when Matt retires from being Daredevil and throws his mask off the roof, you can see the missing horn piece is in the shape of a D. And later when Matt gives him that piece of the horn, he's a broken man who's picking up the piece of a side of him that he's been trying to hide. We learn that Karen, my man, has moved to San Francisco, which is something that has happened in the comic, and Daredevil himself has also spent time out there. I wonder if she's gonna ask about She-Hulk. One of these people makes a direct reference to Kingpin crushing a guy's head in with a door. You embarrassed me in front of her! When Kingpin announces his run for mayor, his campaign is run on the fact that he's trying to do away with vigilantes, and uses the fact that he was assaulted by Echo as a starting point. And he wants vigilantes to register, not unlike the Sokovia Accords, which is taking huge inspiration from the Devil's Reign storyline in the comics. And if I had to bet, this is gonna be a big driving force in Spider-Man 4, or at least it should be. We meet Fisk's campaign team with Michael Gandolfini playing Head Glazer. I feel like he might be an amalgamation of Butch Fisk and Richard Fisk. Richard being his real son between him and Vanessa, and Butch being his illegitimate son. This fucking guy, you are not him, little bro. You will never be Wesley. Fisk becomes the mayor of New York City, which is ripped straight from the comics. And when Mayor Fisk is addressing the city, he references a gun-toting vigilante who wears a skull on his chest, Punisher. But then he says, a man who dresses in a spider outfit, this should mean something to me. Give me that Spider-Man versus Kingpin in the MCU now. In Times Square, we get 3 references. One to Rogers the Musical, Luke Cage's jazz club, the Harlem Paradise, and the Pim Van Dyne Foundation, which is the foundation that Hope Van Dyne, the Wasp herself, runs. We see someone painting a mural of Fisk and calling him the Kingpin, and this is 100% gonna be Muse, who's a Daredevil villain from the comics who has some supernatural elements to him, but he uses the blood and bones of his victim to create art, and we've seen him in the trailer before, and all I gotta say is he looks like he's gonna be a demon. And I have a feeling he's played by this weirdo. At Heather Graham's book sign, who, by the way, yes, is a love interest from the comic, her book is titled Live Without Fear, which feels like an obvious reference to Daredevil's other moniker, the Man Without Fear. Finally, we get the shot of a Punisher tattoo on one of those crooked cops that was trying to kill Matt, and I don't know how Frank is gonna feel about this, but all I know is he's gonna hit him and they stay down. And man, that was just the first 2 episodes, but these were